Oh, fantastic. Leave it to good old technology to confuse me. I've decided, as somebody called it earlier, I think White Dragon. Oh, you'll be live later. Well, here I am. Or doing a short. Did several shorts regarding comics and all that. Let me just focus on the question at hand and turn this little AC unit. Hi, Warrior Mom. Good to see you. I'm just gonna go ahead and blather everything, all the word salad I want to say, right out, right quick, and try not to focus too much on anything that might just distract me. So here goes. It's not remaining vague. Okay, that's not what I'm doing here. I'm keeping personal the recent happenings within my own life. That is my right to do so. What I want to speak on is based on everything I know now. The things I know now that I didn't know months ago or even weeks ago has me wondering one very simple, universal question. The easiest, well, argu arguably, debatably, possibly the most complicated question, but at the same time, a simple one. Why? Why is it? And please, nobody insert their feet into the shoes or the socks. If they think it fits, just don't, for once, let go of the ego and just hear whatever happens to be audible, listen, and maybe learn or formulate an opinion or a counterpoint. Why are people, why is humanity so obsessed and distracted with what other people think, with what other people say? It's it's a huge issue. I mean, I get it in the grand scheme when you see it played out as we all expect it to, as we've all seen growing up during primaries and general elections and campaigns. You have one party that's trying to make you concerned about what the other party is saying. What if, just what if, in this uh, imaginary utopian world, we didn't have a campaign or an election that focused on, hey, look at what the opponents are saying. What if, just what if, everybody that was running their own goal to go ahead and achieve whatever it is they're setting out to do for the greater good, we hope, we assume. Although that hope is fluttering to nearly nothing. Regardless, just what if? What if every important person that we had to pay attention to or that we did solely focused on what they wanted to accomplish instead of trying to vilify the opposition? What if that wasn't even allowed during a campaign? Slander, allegations, making things like throwing dirt at one another. If we could take that out of a conflict, we could have a true, I don't know about civil, but a true discourse debate where people could not say, hey, screw you, no, screw you, buddy. They could actually talk about the things they are most passionate about, the things that they see and feel are the most wrong within our country, why our healthcare doesn't take care of enough of our American taxpayers, or even the taxpayer who just doesn't have a job for a spell, or the veteran, or even an ex-con trying to do right, or there's so many examples. All I care about, honestly, and this is something I wouldn't have said years ago as a Democrat or months ago. All I care is that they're American, they've paid their dues, they pay their taxes. What if we would always and only focus on what we cared about the most and we didn't give a flying shit as to what anybody else says, does, or just any of that massive distraction. Think about all the damage this very outlook has done to us as a species. Instead of focusing on ourselves and how to better ourselves, we're too distracted and concerned about what is being said and and who's hearing what. And we no longer focus inward. We are so obsessed with the outward, with the fickle little sewing circles and what just a bunch of who knows who cares who is saying whatever they want to say. It's their freedom to say it, but that is clearly somebody that doesn't have their own priorities straight if they need to spend so much time just dogging somebody else. I, I'm within my rights to say, at some point in my life, yes, if you wish, I had to deal with that to some small scope. I don't feel like a victim anymore. I feel grateful that I survived it and I'm stronger and it's given me a stronger perspective. I feel wiser. Other people, just the same, have gone through that and worse. Now, it doesn't end you, it doesn't stop you, it doesn't silence you. It makes you stronger. But if you let it get to you, if it gets under your skin, if it demeans you, if it offends you, if it hurts you, it's destroyed or harmed the intent. The purest form of your intentions have been damaged with trying to do damage control, trying to reconcile with people or peoples or someone that really it could have been settled anywhere else. This is why I try to be so cautious about what I say and choose to do on this channel, because it is a sacred ground. It's not a church, it's not a place of worship. It's just a place where we try to put into fruition, we try to manifest the most positive possibilities we can for this country. As far as I know, the majority of the people here live in the United States of America. Why can't we all put our focus into that? I think there's enough happening between our two-party system to take and pluck the things that are most important. The clip I didn't play earlier, which was some Biden shill that was tasked with the cartels being questioned time and time and time again, about 8 times, and she could not offer just a clear and plain answer about how they could, with a single phone call, stop fentanyl trafficking. We have people out there that are being paid by our money in mass to a point where it makes them wealthy, and none of us are, and they don't do their jobs, even when the solutions are thrown right there, smack dab down, face first at their feet. It's an insult to our republic, to our democracy. It's a reminder that the illusion of choice is just that. If we could all just turn off our little antennae and insecurity, one and the same. You put that antennae out and your insecurity is at full blast because you start hearing things and you don't know what's true, but you're so lost in the mix and thick of who says what, when, why, how, and the outrage, the betrayal, whatever it is, you get so distracted from the purity of your intentions and why you started and what you've done and what you've accomplished, and you almost lose it all. You almost let somebody else take from you what you wanted to give in the first place. If I could call for anything, I don't know why this stupid example, hashtag me too, comes to mind. Just something in that scope, that large. If we could hashtag something like hashtag my plan and just stick to what it is we all wish to see and achieve and see accomplished in our lifetime for us, our children, our bloodline, our families, our loved ones, our neighbors, if we could just stick to what it is that's in our heart that has always kept us going. Because for me, sometimes it's not just feeling like I'm smart. There has to be something in my heart that makes me wake up and look forward to something that can possibly change. There is nothing about the United States of America that I look at today and feel pride. I mean, I'm sure that might be very, very hyperbolic, but there's so many things broken. And I wish if we were people that were able to focus on the things that we are most passionate about, on the things that we know are the most wrong. And that's been a consistent message since I found myself with the blessing of a platform trying to congregate people and to share your largest concerns and put a huge ass microphone because that's what social media and platforms like YouTube are. It is humanity with a huge microphone put towards it, and we could amplify the best of us or we could amplify the worst of us. And sadly, it seems that negativity gets the loudest and gets the most attention, the most subscribers, the most likes. People like to watch conflict and the conflict, even if it's killing both sides, we just there's something human within us that we may not understand that is morbid, just like we rubberneck when we pass by an accident, pass a train wreck. We want to see it, we want to be as a part of it as possible without getting hurt. Why can't we look forward, like chin forward, attention goes straight. Whatever is past. You cannot, I said this in a community post I did earlier, you cannot demand water to be placed under a bridge. You have to be like the water you wish to see under the bridge and practice what you preach. Nobody can really make demands of anybody unless you're in some backward scenario where you have a hostage or you're in. I hate using the C word, the cult. I try to really not use that term so loosely because it is a serious term. It's just I have witnessed on some occasion some groups here and there within my lifetime that maybe fall to that criteria to some degree, but nothing as serious as the actual cults. But even still, I don't understand the willingness of people that want to throw over their shoulder their own independent thought just to fit in. I don't understand people that are so willing to say fuck you to somebody that they've known for a couple years or a couple months, whatever. Watch them, he or she, day after day, and felt in tune and understood what it is they were trying to offer, and then just a bunch of grapevine nonsense, he said, she said, gets tossed in your ear, and you don't even give the fuck the benefit of the doubt. You don't even reach out to speak to the source, and the source is all that will ever matter. If you are starving on a desert, you're not going to ask the cactus where the water is, right? You're going to hope to find the source yourself. I think there's water in cactus to some degree, but you get the point. So, I don't know. Hey, Technolificernauts. That's an OG right there, Mishka. Everybody that's jumped in this very, very last minute before I go to bed rant is what I'm thinking. I cannot seem to successfully wrap my head around why we are so flawed. And we can see our flaws so plainly, but we cannot or we do not. I think it's more of a refusal to change because change is not comfortable. Change is different, and we are not as comfortable with being different as we are with being who we are day in and day out. And in that we find procrastination, in that we find all of the flaws that humankind brings forward. hypocrisy, throwing stones in glass houses. Let's bring back focusing on what we want as individuals. And I promise you, if we hear from enough individuals, we'll hear a grand tale about the greater good because we all have a damn good idea of what's wrong and happening currently and how to begin to right that. And I have to believe that that is an inherent part of our DNA to survive. We want to see better, we want to do better, and I don't know what kind of fear or anxiety is holding us back. But one huge one I've identified is giving a shit with what other people think. Liberate yourself and free your mind, and just maybe we'll have some fucking progress. Just maybe.